side, like if you turn it this way a little bit. No, it's the reflection that I'm getting from here, but it's kind of okay now.
Am I going to be like that? Where can I be? Where can I lean?
Cut it on that angle if you want.
Actually, I have to be back here to see anybody. I'll just have to use you.
Free Palestine. Welcome everybody. Come on in. We're a nice hardcore crew, so come on in and make it all tight so we can feel the bonds of community of love. What else, everybody? Come on down. Our Colombian brothers and sisters up there, come on down. Squeeze up, everybody. That way we don't have to turn the microphones on too loud or have them too high. Nice, come on. Squeeze up. Nobody's going to bite. You're home here amongst family and friends is where you belong. It's hard to keep count of the days. It's hard to keep count of the days. Think about how long we've been coming out and to continue to see our message being every one of us. It has every fibre in our body because it says that we don't belong and that we don't matter. And when I say we, I don't just mean Palestinians, I don't mean Muslims, I don't mean brown people, I mean people of humanity, people that care equality and people that believe that we're equal and we are all precious. Shame on every one of those people that sits by and allows this stuff to happen, that sees what's happening on their screens and doesn't speak. Does stuff, does boycotts. Shame on every one of them, but congratulations to every one of you and thank you. My friends, I know the weather was bleak and a whole bunch of people stayed at home where it was either rain or the wind for you other believers, and victory when it comes will be yours as much as it's the Palestinians, because today it's Palestine, tomorrow if we don't win it's the rest of the world. That's why we say in thousands and our millions. In our thousands and our millions. My friends, there's a ton of community stuff happening during the week. A ton. Make sure you get to the Free Palestine Coalition web Instagram page, Free Palestine Melbourne Instagram, Free Palestine Melbourne website. But tomorrow there's a public forum at the Kathleen Syme Library where Yusuf al-Namawi and Senator Tishman and Senator Steph Hodgkin-May, they're speaking about Palestinian refugees and all refugees. That's tomorrow. On Thursday at RMIT here, there is Sorry Democracy, a Palestinian professor here from the United States. Conversation with Louise Adler, Denial in the Time of Genocide. They'll be speaking about the apartheid state and how it exists normally in society. On Friday, very importantly, Friday 5:30 a.m. electron picket. Get along to that 5:30 in the morning, 202 Holt Street, Thomastown. Really importantly, in a couple of weeks on the 18th, we'll be having our rally in the morning with our first speaker, Uncle. We'll be launching the Land Day, Disrupt Land Forces Camp Salty, yeah? So make sure when you get there for the start at Camp Sovereignty with Uncle Robbie Thorpe, and a whole chunk of other activities. So get along to those websites and make sure you get along to them. First up, our dear brother, Uncle Robbie Thorpe, who's an Aboriginal activist. He's a leader. He's been advocating for Palestine for 40 years. He's shaken the status quo through political advocacy. He's never bowed down. I listened to a speech yesterday on 3CR that he gave in 1991. That was when many of you weren't born. Some of us were already in our 20s. It doesn't matter. He's been doing it for a lifetime. He's an inspiration, a power and a force for Indigenous struggles here on this continent, on this settler colony, but for Indigenous people all over the world. A big round of applause.
Thank you, everyone. It's an honour to be here. It was back in 1973 I was on these steps, the very first rally I ever went to. 16-year-old, 15-year-old I was. Who I stood in solidarity with our brothers and sisters from Palestine. Because they're very similar issues to us. It's an illegal racist occupation here. And it's genocide and oppression that's going on. One of the things that I'm proud of for my people, to acknowledge them, we never ceded our sovereignty over these lands. There's no treaties. What do you think that means? No consent. What do you think that means? It means this is a racist, illegal occupation. Total denial. Racist institution. I'm very proud to stand here. Total denial. Racist institution. I'm very proud to stand here. Nothing after that. But I wanted to come here and tell you to check out my website. It's called CrimesAustralia.com. That's one word, lower. Check it out. Got all the cases listed, including cases against Chuck the Turd, Charles the King of your land here. Shameful! Get rid of these dogs! This is not Britain! Failure! Don't think about that word for a minute. Been going on for 20 years. Premeditated, intentional genocide from the get-go. What happened to people? Ever wondered? We went 100% of the population to about 0.01% here in Victoria. That's genocide! Worry about he's not here. Worry about who is. Right? Very proud of you all standing up the way you've had, despite it all. Despite the denial of this racist occupation. You know, everyone's opposed genocide here. Is that right? Where did you get your quarter acre from? Exactly. It's racist. All humanity. This place, Victoria, the very first colonies that constitute, based on empty land. 81, I think it was. Based on empty land. 81, I think it was. The convict rat bag mass murderer who founded this town should be ashamed of yourselves. Why are we the most jailed people in our own country? Where's the alarm bells ringing there? Why are they still stealing our kids? industry's built around that. People on that. This industry's built around incarcerating people and managing our affairs. Finding these bastard dark age assholes from the other side of the world to manage our affairs. What's that about? It's an illegal occupation and responsible for genocide. Don't ever forget it. Ever. We're not. They've been fighting for 250 years. It's ongoing. Just so sophisticated the way they do things. Anyway, I'm never going to give up. Ever. This racist occupation is not a war. No consent, no treaties. How do they get jurisdiction over our land? Ask yourselves. An illegal occupation. One of the things I want to tell you is that we've got to cut against a guy called, his name's Mark Friedberg, but he changed it to Mark Redjev. He's a senior advisor to the Netanyahu war cabinet. Claims to be an Australian citizen and also an Israeli citizen. Some sort of dual citizenship they have either these guys. Anyway, we've got a court case against him on the 9th of October here in the Magistrates Court here. You're all welcome to come and see how they're doing it. So have a look at that my website, crimecenteraustralia.com. To all it's Mark Dreyfus as well, the Attorney General. Disgusting, they all disgusting. Anyway, we're never going to give up, and we're going to win our struggle. Otherwise, there's not going to be nothing left here. Sooner or later, the eyes of the world are going to turn on this lousy racist place called Australia. Haven't got a leg to stand on, morally, ethically, legally, or spiritually. Think about it, Oz. Get on the right side of history here now. They're done. That's why they're up on the right. But
settler colonialists don't understand what indigenous understand of their land and where they draw their strength and why they are unconquered and unbroken. From this continent to every indigenous struggle, from the Kanakis to Haiti to Congo to Palestine to West to the Kurds to every indigenous people wherever they may be. Our fight is your fight is my fight. It's also a fight against homophobia, misogyny, against ableism, the fight for humanity, the fight all of us together, whether you're part of our disabled community, whether you're a Jew, whether you're a Muslim, a queer, whatever you might be. Our fight is your fight. It's a fight for tomorrow. It's a fight for a world community. Always was, always will be. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Fantastic. That's what unconquered and unbroken, my brothers and sisters. Unconquered and unbroken. Next up, a fabulous bloke, fabulous guy, Jamal Hakim, who is a committed community running for Lord Mayor of Melbourne. It's time for a Lord Mayor of Melbourne that looks like us. If you're in the city of Melbourne and you want to volunteer, make sure you come up and see me. In case you want to vote for him, please do. He's running for Lord Mayor. Jamal chaperoned the ceasefire, championed the ceasefire resolution at the City of Melbourne and got within one vote of getting it passed. Got within one vote, which is an extraordinary effort when you consider what that space looks like. He's passionate about justice and ensuring a thriving community across all neighbourhoods that is physically, emotionally, culturally safe for everyone. A big round of applause for Jamal Hakim. Welcome Jamal!
Thank you, Nasser. Hello everybody, what a beautiful afternoon to be here. This is Melbourne, but rain, hail or shine, you come out here every Sunday for over 10 months now. And I want to say, well done for standing up every single day. Free, free Palestine! Free Palestine! I'm Jamal Hakim, I'm a councillor of the City of Melbourne. I want to start by down here on unceded land. It is the land of our own people. I want to acknowledge the elders, pay respect to the elders past and present and emerging. I want to also acknowledge the land for over 6,000 years. That collection is political, that is connection that has looked after this land in a way that we are only starting to realize. It is artistic, it is an oral history, it is one that is so powerful that will never, never be defeated. Always was and always will be Aboriginal land. In February this year, I brought a motion forward. I brought a motion forward to Council to bring your voice into Town Hall. And I did that because politicians weren't listening. The media wasn't listening. And those in charge were just ignoring the countless cries to hear your voices. And that is a shame. Governments at every level in this country failed to listen and they failed to act. There's not much that the local government can do for global affairs. But we're not powerless. They always also say, at the local level, we're the closest to the people. Now, that's closer to people, but powerless to do anything, they say. But I say, no, we are able, and we have the voice of the people. And our role is to make sure that you are heard, that you are ignored, and to bring the humanity in conversation. This conversation that's being ignored by our media, by our politicians and those who are supposedly representing us. It was a simple ask to convey to the government on behalf of the people that what is happening in the occupied Palestinian territories is not okay. It is not okay to stand firm against all the atrocities, to recognize the urgency that you and all that we all have been having with what's happening in the Palestinian territories, and to demand the release of hostages in Gaza and in Israel. Because what's happening is not okay. Not for anyone. It only serves the interests of the few who hold on to power callously, like there's nothing else in life but power. They forget that life is about people, it's about our common humanity, it's about all of us here. At that meeting, we heard from community, and we heard from humanity, all people. I hope that in bringing people together, we created the space for our humanity to stand whole. That's what it was for. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for standing up here and everywhere for Palestine, for Lebanon, and for humanity everywhere. Because all our friends are infected. We can all stand together. We can win. We can beat whoever stands against us. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to silence us. They're trying to separate us. And we must stand tall together. Thank you for continuing to be strong against all forms of bigotry. as Nasser said, whether it be any form of Islamophobia, whether it's homophobia, whether it's whether it's misogyny, whether it's ableism, anti-Semitism, or any form of hate, we must stand tall against it, and we must say no more. We can only fight hate with love and through humanity and common facts, through common understanding, through coming together. And that's why we must never be silent. We must always have spaces that we bring people and have those conversations. But why does this matter? It's because democracy is at stake. It's at stake everywhere around the world. In launching my campaign, I'll be declaring all donations. I won't be accepting donations from developers, from weapons manufacturers, from gambling, or from tobacco. That's the key pledge. Because we have to bring transparency and honesty back into politics, into our democracy. So the response? It's unfair to declare. No one else has to declare. That's laughable. I'm not afraid. What are they hiding? Who's truly leading town hall? Who's truly leading parliament? And who's truly leading this country when we can't declare our donations in real time? We won't accept donations from those who hurt our community, from those who create things that bring us down. That's why when you have conflicts of interest, that's when you have dodgy deals. That's the end of town is leading the way, not the people. I say it's time for people, not politics. It's time for a Melbourne and an Australia that is democratic, one that is welcoming for every single person, and one that is flourishing. And we can only flourish together, because we can't flourish alone. The pie is better than it. Collaboration is the key, not competition, because we are stronger together, and there's enough for every single person. That's why I'm running for Lord Mayor. That's why you all need to stand up. That's why every single person needs to put their hand up and run, because politics is about people. It's not about the parties. It's not about ego. And it'll only happen when we all stand up, when we all create space for that. So whether it's the local elections in October, whether it's the federal elections next year, or the state elections in 2 years' time, we will never forget. We have the receipt, and we will never forget. And it's your job, our job, collectively, to make sure that we never forget and they never forget. Because it's time for democracy to take center stage. So let's fight for people, not party or politics. So whether today or tomorrow, Palestine will never die. Palestine will never die. Palestine will never die. Thank you.
That was your man. Hakim, everyone. Palestine will never die. Palestine will never die, my friends. It will never die. It lives and beats in every single of you. If you've ever marshaled, we're short on marshal. Hey guys, girls, friends, if you've ever marshalled and you today, please just head to behind the stake here. We're short on some crews, so please join us and help there. We've got another speaker before we start marching, a couple of speakers, but I just want to address something that we had in the past couple of weeks. It's our Prime Minister and his language around who belongs. The dog whistle to a constituency that sees many of us as not all, many of us as not belonging, many of us as not white enough for this colony. Shame. Shame on him. And shame on the Labor Party. Shame on the Labor Party for allowing that space and not doubling down on humanity. The actual response to no Gazans belong here, no Palestinians belong here, Curtin don't belong here. That's the response. The response isn't 10,000 Palestinian applications for refugee status, 10,000 applications and less than 30% of those being okay, less than 30%, 70% saying no to, and of that 30%, only 1,300 ending up here. That's not the response to Peter Dutton. The response to Peter Dutton and his ilk is you don't belong. You don't belong, not these Palestinians. And when he talks about Palestinians, he's using that as a group noun, but that means everybody else is a cis-white male or male. That's everyone that doesn't buy into his belief and understanding of a hierarchy of humanity on this continent. That's everybody else. When he talks about Palestine, he's talking about everybody else. In the same token, the 10,000 Palestinians sought refugee status and only 3,000 odd got approved and only 1,300 got here. 9,000 Israelis. 9,000 Israelis applied to be refugees. You know, they sought a safety in Australia for 9,000 of them. And of course Australia is an egalitarian society. Well, the Palestinians were 10,000, 3,000, 1,300. You'd expect a similar number from Israelis, wouldn't you? That would be fair. No. Because this is a racist settler colony and it's great friends with that racist settler colony. 9,000 Israelis applied and 97% got a yes, and they're all here. And they're all here. They're worried about a hypothetical fear that Palestinians might have tendencies towards violence. What about every single Israeli that was a conscript in that genocidal, apartheid, racist regime, and every one of them is here? I'm scared of them. We need to be tracking them. They're going to be teaching our kids, working in our hospitals, working in childcare, working driving buses, trams. I want to know who they are. We should not find safety here, nor should any Australian who is serving in the apartheid state and the training too. Now my friends, during the week we've had some very good wins, some very big wins. AXA, one of the world's finance houses, after years of campaigning, the boycott movement got AXA for every single holding they had in the scumbag Israeli bank. Those scumbags found the from colonialism, every bit of the money of AXA is out. They also dumped Albert. They also dumped Albert. This is no little win. How smelly and stinky that apartheid regime is, and nobody wants to be its friend. Nobody wants to be its friend. It needs to be demonised and needs to go the pathway of apartheid South Africa and cease to exist. It's what? But from the river to the sea, everyone should be how you celebrate God, if you celebrate God, what colour your skin, what your gender, what your ability is. Everyone should agree. During the past week, the University of New South Wales and the University of Melbourne both passed motions. In solidarity with the boycott movement, and we've got a couple of fantastic allies here who are going to speak about that. But Jasmine Ali and Sophie Rudolph. Jasmine Ali is a member of the NTEU branch at Melbourne University. community activist and public lawyer. She's been involved in a number of different human rights campaigns since becoming a political student in the anti-war movement in 2005. You look too young for that, Jasmine. Sophie, I've lost your intro. Jasmine, you can do Sophie. Big round of applause for Sophie. This is Sophie. Big round of applause for Sophie.
You have showed me what resistance to settler colonialism looks, sounds and feels like. We have learned the language of solidarity from you. I have a background in school teaching, teacher education and education research. As I know from my own research here and from scholars such as Maya Wind, who has documented the role of universities in Israel protest, education institutes a significant role in upholding racial and settler colonial domination. As teachers for Palestine and activists across universities have shown us, the colonizer education institutions is a vital part of the fight for justice and all those who are harmed by colonial capitalism. We're speaking today because our branch of the National Student Union at Melbourne University, in a meeting this week attended by over 300 members, voted overwhelmingly in favour of the traditional boycott, divestment and sanctions motion. This motion calls on our organisations that are contributing to genocide in Palestine. But to get to this point, taken a collective struggle. At the end of last year, students spearheaded a campaign called the end of university relationships with weapons manufacturers. Following this, a small group of students and staff from the Faculty of Education put together and they're opposing weapons manufacturing relations. This was signed by over 500 staff and graduate students and sent in January this year, followed by a meeting with senior management in February. The work of students continued across the encampment and at Marcus Hall. Our union branch and staff members continue to support the students throughout this campaign, and the university finally agreed to disclose details about many of its partnerships that had remained hidden. Throughout this time, however, we have encountered the classic techniques of the settler colonial university at work. Censorship, intimidation, and surveillance. Students with police intervention and student staff surveilled and disciplined. Shame. But they, continue to stand firm. Immigration from Sydney University and other academic institutions who have made similar commitments over the last few months. But our campaign was about its challenges, in one family our posters was about the meaning removed, so they were causing distress. Never mind the rest of the genocide. We talked to countless colleagues about Palestine and the need to support the motion. In the end, we had over 20 staff publicly endorse the motion, and now many staff are prepared to speak up and stand to oppose the Israeli assault on Palestinians. In an atmosphere of fear and censorship, this is a major step and a massive collective effort. The network is also boycott and divestment actions, and as we watch the continued horror and
like to acknowledge the land that we're living on, the land and we should note actually it's just a full backslip of Victorian Labor government on its failure around the promise to reduce the criminal age of responsibility that's going to fuel incarceration in the state of youth. Now in our motion, as Sophie had the recent decision of the ICA, its ruling has said that the occupation of West of Gaza is illegal. It is also called the no trade with Israel. But we are in a situation with the Labor government and Christian leaders to sanction Israel. We need to be absolutely clear what this motion represents. If they will not sanction Israel, we will.
Amazing, thank you so very much, guys. And it was very, very thoughtful of me not to have Soph's bio here. Sophie is an inspiration, an academic and faculty from the EU branch of the University of Melbourne. She researches the educational implications of settler colonialism and engage with a range of communities in efforts towards transforming those systems of oppression. So, and for all the powerful work they've done. Peace is union business. Peace is union business. And we've got some of our brothers and sisters from the union movement at the back there. Thank you. It is important, if you can, on Tuesday at 11 o'clock to get out and get here with our BMU comrades. Join them. But also a huge thanks and we understand how important connect from all the struggles. And we've got a Bosnian flag here, we've got a Colombian flag, an Irish flag, there's a Lebanese flag, a Turkish flag. We've got our Jews who are in solidarity with the Palestinians. Every one of us needs to be out for everyone else. Every one of us needs to be out for everyone else. Only together can we all be free. My friends, we're marching really soon, and I want you with that spirit in your heart. We're a smaller crowd and make sure that Melbourne can't ignore us, yeah? Really loudly, from the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Let's start marching, everybody. We are the people. We won't be silent. Free. Stop the bombing now, 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 now. One. We are the people. We won't be silent. Free. Stop the bombing now. Free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Make sure Melbourne doesn't forget that we're here today, and thank you all for coming out again. We'll see you on the steps of Parliament.
It's quite hard, isn't it? Oh, no, it doesn't look like it, does it? Absolutely. Yeah. What? I'm not yeah, yeah, see. How you going? Hi, Lexon. How you going? You're right. Oh, water. You're drinking water. No. Oh, okay. Well, that's your own fault then, isn't it? Oh, the printing people are here.
Oh, this is Mary.
Hey, have you guys been told about this? Excuse me, have you guys been told about this? I have. Actually, you know about it. Okay, right. No, it's a kind of a general community understanding about the use of cockroaches for Jewish people. Not good. Okay. That's the Israeli flag. Yeah. People have tried to reach out to them, but they're not okay to listen. It's an old trope. Cockroaches and Jews. Could you put that in my bag? Any pocket will do. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Okay. So to do the whole thing. Can't hold it.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Great rally, everyone. Great march, and thank you everyone for coming out. Keep moving forward. 1, 2, 3. Now, now, 1, 2, 3. Great banner, well done everyone. Thank you so much for coming out. We'll just have a look at the rain right now. We've got about 35 or 40 minutes before we all get drenched. But remember, rain, hail or shine, we march for Palestine. Rain, hail or shine, we march for Palestine. Hail or shine, we march for Palestine. Rain, hail or shine, we march for Palestine. That's it, I've got a little product in my hair, I don't want it to get ruined. Just kidding everyone, thank you again so very much. It's been a great honour. One of the best things about our movement, is how egalitarian it is, how democratic it is, how male dominated it is, how many of our women, our young women are taking up leadership roles. What a big round of applause, that's all I know. And you see so many of them. We saw Nora leading the chants today, Justine leading our marshals, and we've got one of our bravest and staunchest young Palestinians speaking now. Nora, who's a Palestinian educator, she's a political analyst, a community organizer. She was born and raised in Palestine in the ancient city of Aqqa. That's a big plus. Come on, big round of applause. These are the toughest of our people, and particularly the toughest of our women, inspirational women. Nora's over 20 years experience working on policy, community development, locally and internationally. She's worked as a consultant and a strategist of civil society in Jerusalem, the West Bank and here. She's APAN's General Manager and Community and Advocacy Lead. A big round of applause for Nora!
And thank you everyone for coming out today. To start, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners and the custodians of the land, the Wurundjeri and Bunurong people, and pay respect to elders past and present. I'd like to also extend my solidarity to any First Nation people who might be here with us today. And I would also like to remind everyone that we are meeting on stolen land, and that from all of its rivers to all of its seas, this land always was and always will be Aboriginal land. Always was, always will be. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Today I want to acknowledge the fathers who are here with us today. I want to acknowledge fathers who are here and fathers who are no longer here with us, especially Palestinian fathers sharing this space with us today. I want to acknowledge those, the nurturers, the protectors, those who empower. I want to acknowledge fathers who have steadfastness of suhoor, of resilience, resistance, values of freedom, equality, and humanity for all. To those fathers, to the father of my children, who is nurturing our two sons, so I can be here today fulfilling my duty, my moral duties towards humanity. To my father in Aqqa, Rabba, to my father in Palestine, to all but above all, to all fathers in the battered and besieged but undefeated Gaza. So now we say, بالعربي أول, Arabic, أنتم تاج رؤوسنا. You are the jewels in our crowns. And as Khalid Labhani, the grandfather, who referenced Ruh al-Ruh, when he held the corpse, the small corpse of his 3-year-old granddaughter Reem, that was slain by the Israeli bombardment in Gaza, said, Antum Ruh al-Ruh, you are the souls of our souls. Your struggle and your sumud to those who are standing and holding the front line in Gaza, in Ramallah, in Jerusalem, in Akka and Haifa and Nazareth. Your steadfastness is the reason why millions of people are still coming out around the world to demand justice and freedom, equality for all, for entire humanity. Your support is why we are here today, because you have inspired generations upon generations to carry out the journey and the struggle for justice for Palestine, but also for all colonized and all oppressed people around the world. The movement for Palestine, the global movement for Palestine, has always been a movement that is anti-racist and anti-colonial. A movement that has welcomed different people from different walks of life, people from different ethnicities, different religious backgrounds, different walks of life. The movement for Palestine has always stood up against all forms of bigotry and racism, including anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, misogyny, and other forms of racism. We will proudly carry that legacy of those who are holding the front line in Gaza, in Ramallah, in Akka, and in Al-Quds in Jerusalem. And we will proudly carry that legacy until Palestine is free. We're here 10 months into an act of genocide. 10 months of daily bombardment of tents, refugees, hospitals, complete annihilation of healthcare systems, complete destruction of educational systems, universities, schools no longer exist in Gaza. 10 months of deliberate targeting of Palestinian children, intentional and deliberate targeting of Palestinian children as documented by United Nations agencies and Palestinian agencies. Does it make sense that we still have to come out weekend after weekend to explain why it's wrong to target children in the head as they sleep in their beds, in their refugee tents? Does it make sense that we have to reiterate and explain why starving children is wrong and inhumane? Israel has made the world a far more dangerous and violent place for children, not just in Gaza or in Palestine, but for children worldwide. Because once that threshold is crossed, this behavior and this pattern will be replicated and repeated in other parts of the world. This is why they're called crimes against humanity, and not just crimes against Palestinians. So here we are, 846, inspired by the steadfastness of those in Gaza. Here we are reaffirming our calls for ceasefire, end to the siege, end to the Israeli apartheid regime across the historic Palestine,
the right of over 6 million Palestinian refugees to return home. It shouldn't be controversial for us to demand that our government end complicity in genocide. This should not be controversial. We shouldn't have to campaign to demand that our taxpayer money and that our government and our public representatives do not drag us into war crimes. Do not put us in a position where we are responsible for a genocide and we have blood on our hands because we were not loud enough and we were not staunch enough to say, end complicity, not in my name, end LBIT system, memorandum of understanding right now. And the political cover that this government continues to provide to genocide right now. Saying Israel has the right to defend itself while it bombs hospitals, which by the way now is the norm. No one is shocked. Saying this should not be controversial. This is just moral and international law. So we are here today to reiterate that we will be in the streets for as long as it takes. Heck yes! For as long as it takes, as long as Gaza's under siege, as long as our children are being dismembered, as long as our parents, fathers, and mothers are collecting body parts of children in plastic bags, we will be here weekend after weekend. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. In our thousands, in our millions, we are all Palestinians. Shukran, thank you everyone.
What you see there is the fierce determination and unbroken spirit of an Indigenous person, whether it's on this colony or in Palestine, unbroken and unconquered. Unbroken and unconquered, my friends. Now we're unbroken and unconquered, but that doesn't mean that our hearts aren't broken. Doesn't mean our hearts aren't broken. And it would be made of ice if your heart didn't break 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 times a day. And it's sad, because I know every one of you has seen the love, seen the beauty in the love of our Palestinian men that Nora was just talking about. I know you have seen the spirit, the determination in those civil workers as they dig with their bare hands, hearing the screams of the kids, trying to save them and dig them out of the building or a burning tent. Imagine what that world would be if that Palestinian love were able to be free of the suffering and the mourning and the pain. How beautiful this world would be. How beautiful this world would be if all Indigenous people were free of settler colonialism. Uncle Robbie was talking earlier on when I told you about that speech I listened to, and he was talking at that time in 1991 about an anti-war movement, about uranium mining. And he said Indigenous folk, black fellas knew the uranium was there. They knew it was poison. They were lands, they didn't go to it because they knew there was a problem with it. Indigenous people know the land. They don't commit ecocide, they don't drop 70,000 tons of weaponry. 5 Nagasaki nuclear bombs on a bit of dirt is theirs. And whilst our hearts hurt and they're broken, we do cry, I cry a lot. I cry for the loss, I cry for that pain, I cry for the suffering. I cry imagining what the world could be, should be, would be, if the world saw Palestinians as human. I mean, because have to be real, Peter Dutton's got a space that he can speak to in the way he speaks to, because Palestinians are not Ukrainian. We're not Ukrainian. We're not white, we're not quite human enough. And I cry for a world. You know, we say about Zionists that every accusation is a confession. Yeah? Every accusation is a confession, and it's only a matter of time before it comes out. We've got actual footage of systematic rape of Palestinian prisoners. Actual footage. Actual footage of members of the Knesset having a rally at a jail to break out the guys that did it. We've got a parliament in Israel debating on whether it's okay to rape Palestinian prisoners. Where is the West? Where is the media? Where is the government? Are we that lacking of humanity, lacking of outrage, lacking of a normalcy? How can that moral ambiguity and moral loss be? And it sits with, not that they're not human, and not that we're not human, it sits in that power matrix that wants everyone to be Palestinian. It wants everyone to be Palestinian. It is in the sycophantic Arab regimes that allow this to occur kilometres from their armies. That's right. It's Egypt, it's Jordan, it's Syria, it's Lebanon, it's everywhere. The shit is everywhere. It isn't just Western stuff. It's Saudi Arabia, it's the Emirates, it's all of the people that have used the suffering of the Palestinians for their own political pain, for their own political gain, and who are not doing enough. Not doing enough. It's the Yemenis who are doing something, yeah? We've got a little girl that was shot 355 times, a boy with Down syndrome. A boy with Down syndrome mauled to death. Humans raped by animals, raped with objects, kids sniping, collecting flour, tents set ablaze, bodies of children without heads, bodies of children without bodies, heads. People collecting a weight of humans to bury. A father who thought he'd lost his son and buried what he thought he was his son, mourned his son's life to find out 2 months later that his son was alive, and having the guilt of having denied another parent the opportunity to mourn properly. Massacre after massacre. Tens of thousands of people, tens of thousands. Schools gone, hospitals gone. But we cry, I cry not just for the Palestinians, I cry for this world. What sort of world are we giving our children and grandchildren? What sort of world are our leaders leaving behind? This is a question we're going to hold them to account to into perpetuity. They will not get to wash their hands of this. They will not get to wash their hands. And my friends, there will come a time when they come to you, these people that are progressive except for Palestine, they will come to you and they'll go, well, you know, I was on your side, but I couldn't say anything. Absolutely shame. As Martin Luther King said, we might forgive the words of our enemies, but we will never forgive the silence of our friends. We will never forgive the silence of our friends. Shame on them that this can't make them stand up for humanity, for Palestine. You're not our friends. You're an enemy. Shame on you and shame on everyone standing with Israel. Shame on you all. My friends, I cry and I laugh and I smile and I struggle to sleep and then I sleep in a coma, and they are all normal emotions. Remember, my friends, self-care is important. Self-care is resistance. If you're missing a friend today who should have been here and you don't know where they are, check up on them, yeah? You don't have to come to every rally. It's great that you do. It's great that you're doing everything. But you need to look after yourselves and look after each other, yeah? It's so very important. We will be free. We will be free. Palestine will be free. Humanity will be free. Palestine will free us all. From the river to the sea. From the sea to the river. Palestine will live forever. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next week. Make sure you get along on Tuesday to the CFMEU rally, 11 o'clock at State Library. Support our brothers and sisters there. Follow us on all the Instagram chats and websites, etc.